Hello, I'm Thelma. Welcome to the Calyx Services channel. You know, all regions of the world have a particular cuisine that represents that region. And in the Caribbean, we're no different. We are known for our spicy, very flavorful cuisine. And on my recent trip to Canada, I met a young Jamaican lady who is going to great lengths to grow the kind of seasonings, as she calls them, the herbs and spices that she was accustomed to when she lived in Jamaica. And she's doing all of this in containers in her backyard. I found it so fascinating that I've decided to share it with you. And trust me, you would not wish to miss this video, so please keep watching. Hello, Shelly. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Well, as usual, whenever I'm in a garden, I'm at my best. And looking at you, I am sure the same thing applies to you.
I'm aligned. I'm aligned.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, lady after my own heart, and if you weren't, we probably won't be here. And because you are so kind and gracious to offer to show our viewers your garden, I will ask you, please tell us a bit about your garden.
Okay, so in Toronto, for me, I plant stuff that I can't get readily because from in Kingston, I like my peppers. So I use a lot of pepper in my cooking. And here, pepper is expensive, and to find good pepper, it's hard. So in my garden, I have different types of peppers. So if we start here, we have a new one that I didn't know from in Jamaica. And from the label, it also will show you how to care.
I see. Keep away from children.
Yes, so this
Shelly.
is hot.
The leaves are so large, healthy, and green.
And this one is also a new one for me, the Butch Trinidad Scorpion.
Oh dear Lord, is it also kept? Oh yeah, with
Yes.
those flames, you have to keep
look
it
at,
away from.
Just look at the
Ooh,
Scotch
the
units.
Oh,
and it's also keep away from children.
All right, so why are we doing plants that you have to keep away from children and some adults?
Yeah, the plants is fine for kids to look at, but the pepper, because of the heat, most people are wary. But look at our Jamaican favorite,
What's the
our
Scoville
Scotch
unit?
bonnet, aka.
What's the Scoville unit? Turn
Okay,
it around.
look at
Does
it.
say?
300,000.
Okay, so we can eat that.
Yes,
We can
yes,
eat that.
yes.
They're flowering. Look at that. How long ago you planted them? And I must add, I mean, these are beautiful pots. They're large pots.
Yeah, these peppers were planted 2 months ago.
And
I get it from the farm store. I get the seedlings.
Okay.
And then we replant. As you see, the instructions on replanting is also on the back of the label. They tell you what size pots to use.
Okay.
If it needs full sun or not. What type of fertilizer.
All of that.
And this is the reaper. This is the deadly guy.
How many?
Up to 2 million.
Shelly, you have a plan.
Listen.
I don't know what it is, but you have a
My
plan.
brother called these peppers the devil pepper.
How do you use them?
So you have a pepper.
Yeah.
You take your kitchen scissors.
Yeah.
And you basically just take off the tips. So one pepper will literally last you for a month.
So is it just the heat, or is there flavor associated?
So the reaper is definitely heat.
Okay.
But the Scotch bonnet, the Trinidad black, is flavor.
You could see that Shelly is super excited about super hot peppers. And there are lots of folks like Shelly. She's shown us 4 peppers with some really, really high heat units. So I'm going to pause really quickly to explain what is meant by heat units as it relates to hot peppers. Heat units measure the pungency of peppers and is expressed in terms of SHU or Scoville heat units. This table shows the Scoville heat units of 7 peppers. Sweet pepper is given a score of 0 because it has no pungency whatsoever. Jalapeno ranges between 3,500 and 8,000 heat units and is considered very mild. Scotch bonnet between 100 to 350,000 SHU, and the 3 that Shelly has in her garden between 1.3 and 2.2 million heat units. So, while it may appear that our beloved Scotch bonnet is mild compared to these 3, don't forget it packs quite a punch. Now, let's get back to Shelly.
Okay, so when we continue down, I think these are just repeats of the ones we have there. I have my fever grass.
And why do you have fever grass?
Because of my tea.
Yeah, okay.
So if I can do it and have enough, we will freeze for the winter, and we'll have tea right through. And if you come over, you'll see this is what I do. Callaloo.
Okay.
So my plants are coming up. Callaloo in Toronto on any given day in the Asian supermarket is between $4 to $5 per pound.
You said 45?
$4 to $5.
Oh, between 4 and 5. Okay.
So the truth is, in Jamaica, you go and get a bunch of callaloo.
Yes.
Here, you buy it by the pound, and it's pretty expensive.
And it's easy to grow.
And it's easy to grow.
And it's indispensable in so many of our dishes and so healthy.
Exactly. And the iron content is just great.
Yeah.
And as you said, it's easy to grow. So it's just getting them in the soil and just water.
And making sure, because from time to time you see holes pop up in the leaves.
Exactly. You're seeing a couple there right now.
Pat, this is what we recommend all the time. Have a balanced ecosystem, not a monoculture.
Right.
So just by way of having other plants around, including your culinary herbs, that should offer some kind of biological protection in due course.
And then we have a little kale here. And heirloom tomatoes, because it's a different variety.
Yes.
And they're very sweet to me.
Oh, that's why you selected heirloom.
That's why I selected heirloom. Because
how do they do? Is this the first time you're planting them in this location?
No, they do very well.
They do well there.
They do very well.
When do you expect to be reaping your heirlooms?
I should be reaping tomatoes by the middle of August.
Some may ask you, in Toronto, the price of tomatoes
it's pretty inexpensive in the summertime.
So it's not about the savings that you get.
No, it's about just having some color in your garden, having the difference. Because we could have gone with plummy tomatoes, we could have gone with our what we call in Jamaica our salad tomatoes, but the heirloom, they're different. They're different colors, different taste.
And where do you get the seeds from?
The seedlings are also from the farm store.
So you don't save your seeds every year and replant?
I have not tried that yet. Okay. I have not tried that yet.
This is the second section of your garden where I see you have concentrated a lot on your herbs in pots interspersed with some other colorful plants. So let's start at the first one and you tell us what this is.
So this is basil. And I have 2 types, the sweet basil and the regular basil.
In the same pot?
In the same pot.
Why? Why did you not plant them in separate pots?
Do you know that the basil, it is so flavorful and good, but then to keep it, you can have this right through the year in your house.
Ooh.
So to have 2 separate pots is so much space. So that's why I place them in the same pot.
It's such a big pot, because yes, I grow these things within small pots. Now, you find this will last the season?
This will last until the end of the season. If you have it in sunlight, coming through the windows, although our winters are so bad, but the sunlight will reflect on the glass and it will be fine.
Okay, great.
And then earlier I showed you my fever grass. You know you have to have the Jamaican mint to make your tea right through the winter. So we have the fever grass down there, so we're combining it with our peppermint and we're good to go. You know I'm a country girl, right?
But, and I'm learning something, you combine mint and fever grass in the same tea?
Combine mint and fever grass.
Well, why didn't you just grow them right next to each other? You have to walk the extra feet to cut them.
But I'm watering, and the callaloo is close by. You have to go down there anyway.
Yes.
And if you look closely, it's 2 different types of peppermint.
Oh, I did not see that.
Yeah, so we have this one here, which is a much smaller leaf.
Yeah.
And then we have this type. I just call them peppermint.
Yeah, the mints.
Yeah, I'm no, I can't tell you the different names, but listen, they're fabulous. So the other thing I use a lot in my kitchen is thyme. So we have 2 different types of thyme here.
Again, yeah, that's a standard fine leaf thyme, as we say,
and
the broader leaf.
The broader leaf thyme.
Okay. And next to the thyme, I think all of these flavor aromas just blend in, even in the garden, starting in the garden.
Awesome.
Which one is this?
And this is
rosemary nestled between.
Exactly. Awesome on your salmon. Just awesome on your salmon.
Okay, you're putting me to shame now. We want to introduce culinary section.
Listen, and then again we have our thyme.
Yeah.
Everything that I have in my garden, it's quite expensive here in Toronto. Most of these things are expensive. Yeah. The rosemary, not so much, but the thyme, the peppermint, stuff like that, it's costly.
Okay, the next one, before I put the camera on it, can you tell me whether it's also expensive?
It is. I wouldn't know the cost because I plant my own, and here in Toronto you can have your 2 or 3 plants. So there's no garden which is complete without the tree of wisdom.
And we have to put a name on this tree of wisdom, which we will do, so everybody understands that this is the original tree of wisdom.
The original tree of wisdom.
Yeah.
And this for me, it's not for smoking.
That's a disclaimer.
I'm telling you, it's not for smoking. It is to make my brew that my grandmother had passed down to her mother. And when the plant is mature, we take the buds off. We also take the leaves. We infuse this. And this the marijuana plant, I don't smoke weed, but I use the buds and the plant, infuse them in our J, Ray, and Nephew with what we put some pimento seeds.
Yeah.
We put some Humphrey. We put some ginger. And that is our concoction to go through the winter here in Toronto.
Just for the sake of our non-Jamaican viewers, she is really talking about white rum infused with all those lovely things she's talking about. And she's not unique. It is, what should we call it, an original
concoction?
For all that ails you?
All that ails you.
Okay, we leave it at that. And on that note, I will ask Shelly if she has any words for any of her gardening friends here in Toronto, or her friends and family wherever they are.
What the parting word is that if we don't have a backyard, if all we have is a pot, let us all start to plant something.
Well said, Shelly. And when next you are in Jamaica, you would have to come and do a similar activity in the Calyx garden.
Definitely.
Okay, well, we certainly enjoyed having Shelly invite us to her backyard garden to show us the things she's now focused on. It's a short season and she's making the most of her garden and planting those things that are very important to her health and her family's health. Shelly is really passionate, isn't she? I really like how she is going to great lengths to keep her Jamaican heritage going in terms of the herbs and spices that make our cuisine so unique, and I want to applaud her. I'm sure there are others in the diaspora who are doing the same thing, so we all wish them well. If you like what you saw, please let's encourage Shelly and others like her by giving them a thumbs up, sharing the video with your friends, and for those of you who may not have subscribed already, we will encourage you to do so, because that's our only way of knowing that you really appreciate what we're doing, and that's the encouragement we need to keep on doing what we're doing. So until the next video, I am Thelma, standing in my food garden with just a few herbs and spices, saying take care and bye-bye.